Good evening, everybody. How are you all? I hope you all are doing great. I am Kaushik, your maths mentor, and once again, I welcome you all to this class of mathematics in which we were studying tangents and normals. And in today's class, we're going to talk about angle of intersection or angle of intersection of two curves, right? So, first of all, let me give you its formal definition. It says the angle of intersection of two curves is defined as the angle between their tangents at their point of intersection, right? I hope you all have read this definition. Let me go directly to the diagram and try to explain all this with the help of a diagram, right? So first of all, consider two curves. Let there be a curve C1 and let there be another curve C2 intersecting at some point P, and let's say this point is x1 comma y1. For further, let's say this curve is given as y1 is equals to some function fx and is C2 is y2 is equals to some function gx, right? Now angle of intersection is of these two curves at this point P is nothing but the angle between the tangents drawn to the curves at this point or at this common point. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the two tangents to the curve C1 and to the C2. To the curve C1, this tangent line, let me give it a name L1, and another tangent line to the curve C2, let's say its name be L2. Now this angle theta between L1 and L2 is only the angle of intersection of the two curves C1 and C2. Now you know that the angle between two lines can be simply calculated if I have the slope of two lines. Now here what I am going to do next is I am going to calculate or take the slope of L1 and L2 with the help of derivative. That's what I am doing right from the beginning of this chapter. The derivative gives you the slope of tangent at a point on the curve, right? So slope of L1, let's say it be m1, and this will be d this curve y1 upon dx at the point P. Let's say it is f dash of x1, right? The point P is x1 comma y1. Now the slope of line m2, this will be dy2 upon dx at the same point P, and this is nothing but g dash of x1. Next, you know the angle of intersection of two lines. We have already read this in the class 11th. This is given by mod of m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2. Alright, modulus, what it does for us is, if we take the positive value, we are going to get the acute angle theta, and if we take the negative value, we are going to get the obtuse angle. You know that if two lines intersect each other, there is two angles. One is the acute angle and the other one is obtuse angle. Here you can see this is the acute angle and this one is the obtuse angle. That will be nothing but the pi minus theta, right? So this formula, simply you already known this, m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2. In this particular class, in this chapter, what we have taken is m1 from the derivative, that is f dash x1, and m2 from the derivative f g dash x1, again for the two different curves, and this is going to give you the angle theta between the curves C1 and C2, right? So very small points you can note down here is that if m1 is equals to m2, m1 is equals to m2, clearly it implies that the angle theta is 0 degree. Now if the angle is theta is 0 degree, or you can say that the two lines have same slope or same slope, that means ki there will be going to be a common line or common tangent. It says, or it implies, that the two curves are going to touch each other, right? So geometrically this will give you the condition of touching, or this will give you that the two curves are touching each other. Two curves are touching each other or touches each other, right? Now the second simple point, it says if m1 m2 m2 is equals to -1. Clearly you have known the condition. If the product of slopes is -1, that means the angle between them is 90 degree. Angle between them is 90 degree, and in this case we have a special name to this. When the curves intersect at 90 degree, we call them orthogonal curves, right? Orthogonal curves, or we say that the curves are intersecting orthogonally. I hope you can remind this from the angle of intersection of two circles, or the circles intersecting orthogonally, the part that you have already studied in class 11th, right? So it implies that the curves are orthogonal. Last but not least, you know that the two curves can intersect at more than one point, right? So you can, or you may have different angles or more than one angle of intersection for the two curves. We will see that in examples, right? So for the time, you should note down all this thing. Now we will take some examples to elaborate whatever we have read till now, right? So note it down quickly. Alright, so I am going to start with a very simple example, and this question says find acute angle between y equal to sin x and y is equals to cos x. Both of these curves, sine and cos, you are very much familiar with this, right? So we need to find the acute angle between these sine and cos, or the angle at which they are intersecting, right? So let's draw a diagram for better feel or better understanding of this problem. Sine and cos, you have already drawn these curves so many times, so I am going to draw it for you one more time. Sine, it is like this, right? You know the angles. 0, this is pi by 2, then this is pi, 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi. Now the second curve cos x, this starts from here, right? 0, its value is 1, so it is like this. Alright, I have drawn it from 0 to 2 pi. So clearly you can see that they are intersecting in first quadrant and in the third quadrant, right? So I don't know whether the angle of intersection here and here is same or different. Let's find out here, that is in the first quadrant, and this point of intersection, this point, you already know that they meet at the first quadrant at pi by 4. Pi by 4, where they gives the same value 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, right? So this point P, if I talk about its coordinates, it is going to be pi by 4 comma 1 by root 2. So let's, where we are going to need it. Now if I have to draw more, the tangent here to the sine curve and tangent here to the cosine curve. Let's say this is L1 and this is L2. What we need here is only their slopes. Now the slope of the line L1, M1, or slope of the tangent to the sine curve will be given by the derivative. Now derivative of sine is what? Cos x. So it is cos. Now the point is at x equals to pi by 4. So therefore cos pi by 4 is 1 by root 2. The slope of the line L1 is m1, which is 1 by root 2, and the slope of the line L2 m2, it will be the derivative of cos x, which is nothing but minus sin x, and again x is pi by 4, so pi by 4, this will give you minus 1 by root 2. Now you know the formula of angle of intersection, that is m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2, and here the values are 1 upon root 2 minus minus plus 1 by root 2, and denominator mein it is going to be 1 plus 1 by root 2 and minus 1 by root 2. So let's simplify it. This will give you 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, that is root 2 in the numerator, and this is 1 by minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2 minus 1 by 2. So 1 minus 1 by 2 will give you 1 by 2, or and that in the denominator will give you 2. So it is 2 root 2, right? So here I can say by taking the positive value that the acute angle theta is nothing but tan inverse 2 root 2. Tan inverse 2 root 2, right? So this is our answer. I hope you have understood it. The very simple example it was. You need not to worry about this simple concept, angle of intersection. Definitely I am going to take many more examples for better understanding of this concept, right? So let's go to the next example. For till then you should note it down. Alright guys, so here is the next example. It says find the angle between the curves 2y square equals to x cube and y square equals to 32x, right? So you know that the angle between the two curves is the angle between the tangents at their point of intersection. So first of all, let's find out their point of intersection. So solving these two, I have here y square equals to 2y square equals to x cube and y square equals 32x. Let's put it over here and you get y2 into y square 32x equals x cube. One solution you can clearly say x equals to 0, and by cancelling that now I have x square equals to 32 into 2 64. So there are two values of x, that is plus minus 8. Okay, so now let's see what y we have. For x equals to plus 8, for x corresponding to x equal to 0, clearly y is 0. So the first point is 0 comma 0, and the next point for x equals to 8 plus 8, here we have, you can calculate from anywhere, y square equals to 32 into 8. So 32 into 8, which is nothing but 256. So y is going to be 16 plus minus 16. So here we have two more points, that is 8 comma 16. Let's name it P2, 8 comma 16, and P3 8 comma minus 16. Okay, so now corresponding to x equals to minus 8, let's see what we have. When x is minus 8, here I am going to get minus 256, and on the left hand side I have y square. So y square equals to negative, which is not possible. So corresponding to x equals to minus 8, there is no point of intersection. So all over here I have 3 points of intersection: P1 0 comma 0, P2 8 comma 16, and P3 8 comma minus 16. Next thing you already know, we just need the values of derivative or the slope of tangents corresponding to the curve C1 and C2, and you can simply get it from these points, right? So the point here is can we draw the graph or trace these curves? This one is simple, y square equals 32x, simple parabola, you have already read about that. But this one is little different, right? So I can draw it, but not you. Let me give you the curve, and then the answer to it, or the whatever queries or doubts arose, definitely you are going to get answers to all these doubts in the later chapter. But for the time, let me give you the curve, because from that you will have a better understanding, right? So here I have 2y square equals x cube. Try to understand it algebraically. Y square equals x cube upon 2. If I take the square root, you are going to get two values, that is y equals to plus, this is x cube upon 2 power 1 by 2, and another one y equals minus x cube upon 2 1 by 2. ठीक है? So this curve y square equals x cube upon 2 have two branches. It has two branches, and these branches will be like this. The first one will go like this, and the other one like this. Now, of course, you have the question that why these branches are going concave up, why not concave down. Like as I said, answers to all these questions will be given to you in coming chapters or by the end of this unit, that is application of derivative. As we finish the application of derivative, you will be able to draw all such curves, right? So this first branch with the positive value of y, this is x raised to power 3 by 2 upon 2 raised to power 1 by 2 root 2, and this is second branch, x raised to minus x raised to power 3 by 2 upon root 2, right? So this is the curve C1. This is the curve C1. Now the curve C2, you already know, this is nothing but a simple parabola. So it will be like this. Okay. So here is the points of intersection. The first point you can clearly see, that is P1, which is origin 0, 0. This point P2, which is 8, 16, and this point, similar point you will get over here, which is 8, minus 16, right? So so let's now find out the angle between these curves at these 3 points. You can clearly see that these are symmetrical points. Whatever angle will be here, the same angle you are going to get here. And this origin, I can easily calculate an angle at the origin, right? So let me rub this, and then we will do the algebraical part. Now, first, let's calculate at P1. I hope you remember the point that when a curve passes through origin, the equation of tangent can be simply obtained by equating the lowest degree term equals to 0. I hope you remember that point. We have already noted in the previous lecture, okay? Right? So here, for the curves C1 and C2, at origin or at the point P1 0, 0, tangent, equation of tangent is going to be lowest degree term. Here I have y square. So for the curve C1, I am going to equate y square equals to 0, which is nothing but y equals to 0. And for the curve C2, I am lowest degree term, that is 30, 2x equals to 0 or x equals to 0. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. That means that x-axis is tangent to C1 and y-axis is tangent to C2. You can definitely and you can clearly see that also. This y-axis is the line which is touching this parabola, y square equals 32x, and this is the line which is touching this second curve, 2y square equals to x cube, right? So here you can see that angle of intersection here is 90 degree. So first angle that I am obtaining is theta equals 90 degree, right? So now we have to calculate the another angle. Let's calculate it here at the point P2. Again, I need some space and let me rub this again. So I hope you have noted down this, or you can note it down by giving a pause to this video. All of this online class have this benefit at least, right? So now for the point P2, which is 8, 16, for the curve C1, the slope of tangent M1 that will be obtained by derivative, and derivative here is it is 4y dy by dx equals 3x square, or you can say that its value M1 is dy by dx, it is nothing but 3x square upon 4y. You know the values of x and y. X is 8, so it is 3 into 64 upon 4 into 16. So it is 64, 64. This is 3. Now slope of tangent M1 to the curve C1 is 3, and for the curve C2 we have 2y dy by dx equals 32. So therefore slope here is dy by dx, that is 16 upon y, and the value of y is 16. So therefore 16 upon 16 is 1, right? So I have slope of the tangent line to the curve C1, that is M1, which is 3, and the slope of the tangent to the curve C2, which is M2, and that is 1, right? So angle between the two curves, simple formula I have here is tan theta is 3 M1 minus M2, that is 3 minus 2 upon 1 plus 3, sorry 3 minus 1, 1 plus 3 into 1, 3. So it is tan theta 2 by 3 or 1 by 2 by 4, that is 1 by 2. So tan theta 1 by 2, or you can say theta is tan inverse 1 by 2, okay, right? So this is going to be the acute angle between the curve C1 and C2 at the point P2, and by the symmetry I can say that the same angle will be at the point this P3 also, okay? So note it down carefully. Lots of things were there. If I go just simply algebraically, that is a simple part, but if you have to draw the diagram, which is although not necessary, but for the better feel or for the better understanding that you get, it is important. So the problem was that you were not able to trace this first curve. I have given you are not able to draw it right now, but I'm sure that in the further lectures you will definitely be able to draw all the curves of this type and many more curves, right? So please note it down. We will do some more problems now.